Everybody, I'm Justin, and this is my personal review of Medal of Honor Warfighter. Um, to start off, the game, just going over how it looks and it plays, the art and animation is awesome. I must say, the movements are fluid, the visuals are awesome. The during the cut scenes, you have some really great art going on and animation, and everything looks pretty realistic. And with the Frostbite 2 engine, I'm going to say that's probably the biggest reason for it. Um, the mechanics of the game, obviously, it's a first-person shooter, so it's relatively similar to what you're used to. Aim and shoot, move from point A to point B to point C. So not much difference there. However, I do like the fact, well, one, you can go into prone. Two, what I really do like though is the slide to cover mechanic. So even if you're not even going into cover, if you're running and then you crouch, you will slide down to your knees, and I really do like that. It adds a more realistic flow to it. Speaking from experience myself, so I really do like that. The game itself, storyline, I think could have been a little bit better. I do like the fact that they took real special forces operators, got their input and everything, and took from real life missions and everything. However, it seems as though they tried too hard to just cram in a lot of information. As you see, you're going to do a wide range of things, from running on the ground to being a gunner in a Black Hawk and whatnot, but I digress. One of the problems with that is it kind of almost had no real clear direction of where it was going. Some of you may remember that when pirates were taking over ships, Somali pirates, Navy SEALs actually sniped out the pirates from one of the U.S. ships that were, from a U.S. ship to a ship that was taken over by pirates. Well, they have that scene in this game, and it didn't fit. It just all of a sudden, that's where you were, that's what you had to do, and then after that, you moved on and were somewhere else. So it was a little confusing, a little really just pointless. But out of respect for our special forces, I'm not gonna say that killed the game or anything like that. I did have a blast playing it. I do like the breaching. You start off with only one way to be able to breach a door, and that's by kicking it in. And then from there, you have to get headshots. 1, 2, 3, 4, however it may be. As you see, just a minute ago when I did that breach, it actually had heads at the bottom, a certain number of them, which in this case it had 2. 2 headshots would have unlocked the next, breaching possibility. And in fact, actually at this point, I think I already unlocked them all. Using breach charges to, kicking the door open, stuff like that. Prying the door open and whatnot. This is a shooter, off-the-rail shooter. It's fast-paced. You're gonna be, running and gunning to being on a boat right here, as you see on one of the little fast boats, manning a Mark 19 grenade launcher. And then actually at the end of this mission, you are actually driving the boat. Another one, you're in a helicopter, a little bird, and you're going to be the door gunner. To a gunner on a Black Hawk for a little bit, as you saw earlier. So the game is very fast-paced, and to me it seems like a cross between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and it was as if they were trying to find the right little piece of magic in between that. To me, Call of Duty's kind of gone downhill, and that's my personal opinion. I'm not trying to alienate anybody, Battlefield 3, I started with Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3 to me was a step down from Bad Company 2. So, I think Medal of Honor is trying to find its place within the industry here and with gamers and whatnot. And I think that Medal of Honor 2010 was actually a little bit better than this one. I had a lot of fun playing the campaign. As far as achievements, you're gonna get achievements just for completing missions, and that's pretty much it. As far as the campaign missions, there are a couple where you do have to do a few things, and those will be posted on here. But in the grand scheme of things, I think there's only, off the top of my head, I think 3, maybe 4 achievements for the campaign, outside of just completing the campaign on every difficulty from easy, medium, hard to hardcore and tier 1. So, it kind of goes into more of focusing on the multiplayer in regards of achievements. There are a lot of big set pieces, though, as you were able to see earlier. The Black Hawk scene, the boat gunner. Here I am the door gunner of a little bird. Your barrel will overheat, and you'll have to shut down for a little bit and wait for it to cool down. I have overheated some barrels before, so that's actually realistic and will happen, and you will have to stop, otherwise you will melt your barrel. So it's pretty cool. It's an interesting effect. As far as how it plays out with civilians playing a game like this, it might be a little frustrating, but something you need to take into account that is something that will happen and does happen quite often. You're also going to have some major explosions, a lot of fast-paced move here, move there, ambush scenes, whatnot. So you got the typical stuff going on. You even are going to enter some caves in Afghanistan, and you're going to have to use your night vision, which I will show you here in a second. However, overall, I don't think this is their best work for Medal of Honor, and I think they still have some work to do. Now, with that said, I would like to see them continue making the games, so I do hope that they are successful, enough to make a third, and I think they're just trying to find where they fit. With all the games that are out there now, the first-person shooter market is pretty crowded, and it is tough because you have your Call of Duty group, and then you have your Battlefield group, and they both have their loyal fans that are diehard Call of Duty, diehard Battlefield. So where does Medal of Honor fit in all that? It's not the Medal of Honor of old, where took place during World War II. Things have changed since then. There's a lot more to do, and I think that's what they're struggling with. And I really hope they find their place. It is a fun game. I had fun playing it. I think the campaign was roughly about 8-9 hours of gameplay. You're gonna move all over the world. You're gonna play as a couple different characters, and you got a lot of different weapons, a lot of different types of breaches, as you're going to see here, the different options you have: booting the door, prying it open with a crowbar, or not an axe, but something along those lines. Down at the bottom is the targets. You can see each headshot will unlock another breach style. And you have to do it within a certain amount of time frame. The game in general, it's got a lot going on, and I think maybe if they just kind of focused a little bit more, they would do better. And I really do like the true stories from special operators, special forces operators out there using their stories and whatnot. And I am upset to hear about how they're kind of getting in some trouble for having helped out, even though the government's able to leak secret information, and these guys can't help out on a video game. So, whatever. That being said, I highly enjoyed the game. I do recommend it. Maybe a Christmas present or something. Get on and play it and have some fun. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. I'm G.I. Justin.